series of lessons, I'm going to talk through how you would put together a chord melody where you're playing the chords, the melody, the picking, kind of all at the same time, a la, Tommy Emmanuel or Jake Shimabukuro. We're going to keep it a little bit simpler, but I'm going to talk through the different steps you'll take to be able to do this yourself without being totally reliant on a book or somebody else's tab arrangement. So we're going to use an old classic Jim Croce tune, I'll Have to Say I Love You in a Song. So here we go. We're going to start with making sure our chords are correct. That's our first thing. So you can look that up, you could do it by ear. The chords to I'll Have to Say I Love You in a Song are A major 7. Well, I know it's kind of to C sharp minor. No, it's kind of late. Same shape, just bring it down to B minor. Hope I didn't to E7, wake ya, or E. What I've gotta say, A major 7, can't wait. Same thing again, C sharp minor. B minor, I knew you'd understand, E. Then the chorus, D. Every time then we're going to go to a G sharp 7 chord, which you could do here like a bar. Try, if you had your pinky of this melody, which we might use later. Try to tell you. You could also play it here. Every time I try to tell you. Like an old-fashioned A7 chord, right, which is here. But I'm doing it down here. Now I can't hit the 5th string because I'm a half step lower, but I'm using an inversion essentially. So it's G sharp 7 with a D sharp in the bass. Every time I try to tell you the words just, now we're going to a C sharp 7, which you could do here. Words just, or here like a C7 raised up a half step. Again, right now we're not so concerned with which version of the chord or inversion we're playing. We're more concerned about just having the accurate chords. And then we'll figure out more specifically which versions to play, and that will be determined by the bass line and the melody and the other picking involved. So we have D, G sharp 7. Every time I tried to tell you, C sharp 7, the words just came out. F sharp minor, wrong, to D. So I'll have to A, say I love you, E, in a song, back to D, back to A major 7. That's the whole song. Except for the intro. The intro and the ending are slightly different, just where it goes like this. A major 7 to C sharp minor. Let's see. B minor, it's all the same. Slide up to D minor to E7. So let me do that again. So you're going bum, bum, bum. C sharp minor to B minor up to D minor to E7. I'm just using the C7 shape here. Again, you can use the other, you could go like this, A major 7, C sharp minor, B minor, D minor, the one you know, to E7. There's nothing wrong with that. It's still the right chords. So that's the whole tune. Now we're going to get to the next step. The next step would be, for me, making sure I know what bass notes I'm going to use. The bass notes are crucial. Between the melody of your song and the bass, you pretty much have the outlines of any tune. And I'll show you in a minute what I mean. So the bass notes are essentially just whatever the root of the chord is. So A major 7, I'm playing an A note. Well, I know it's kind of late, C sharp minor, bass note, C sharp, B minor, same thing, 5th string. Hope I didn't E, wake ya, Now here I may do a walk up, but we can get to that later, like what he does. Okay, but not crucial. Then it repeats. What I gotta say, A, can't wait. C sharp, B. I knew you'd understand, E. Chorus, every time. Now, you know, we can listen to the song and see what the bass player is doing, or we can just pick one of the notes of the chord. We could either use from D, we're going to a G sharp. We could either do G sharp like that. Every time I try to tell you, it's a strange jump, but it's fine. It's the right note. Or if you want to follow a more melodic bass line, then just move up to the D sharp. Every time I try to tell you, and that's nice, it's right there. So you got bum bum. Every time I try to tell you. Now we're going to C sharp, which is down. The words just came out. So every time I tried to tell you, the words just, either that C sharp or this C sharp, came out. F sharp, wrong. To D. That's an F sharp too, an octave away. D. So I'll have to say I love you, E, in a song, D. So if I just sang the song with the bass note, it'd be this. Well, I know it's kinda late. I hope I didn't wake you up. What I gotta say can't wait. I knew you'd understand. 3, 4. Every time I tried to tell you, the words just came out wrong. So I'll have to say I love you in a song. So there's my bass part. You want to be able to do that. You really want to be sure of what your bass notes are, because that's going to be, it's got to be on autopilot when you add your melody, which is what we're going to do next in our next step. Okay, here we go now. We've got our bass note to our chords, or first we chose our chords, or we looked them up, but we make sure that they're right and they're what we want to hear. Then we make sure we know what bass note we're using, because we may not use the root of each chord as we did with the G sharp. We could use the G sharp, but we ended up using the D sharp. Sorry, I lost my mind for a second. I used to play it with a diminished chord. You could do that too. That's kind of nice. Okay, but we're on the melody now. So we want to, and keep track of these things. Write down your bass part. Write down your chords. Don't try to commit everything to memory. I write everything down. And I record it too a lot of times so I can hear it, make sure it's always what I want it to sound like. So we're going to now play our melody. Again, you can find the tab, or you can learn it from somebody or from the music. Ideally, you can figure it out by ear. It's not too hard. We're in A, so I'm just going to play through it. How you find that yourself is up to you. So you might want to just find the melody notes first, not worry about rhythmically how you're going to play them. Well, I know it's kind of late, hope I didn't wake you. Just a little tip, whenever you're figuring out a melody, start with your scale. Since this is an A, know what your scale is. If you can do 2 octaves, that's even better. And your melody will usually lie within that scale. Okay, so back to our melody. Hope I didn't wake ya. What I gotta say can't wait. Knew you'd understand. Every time I try to tell you. Here's where we have a chromatic note, a note that's not part of the scale. The words just, then we're back in the scale, came out wrong. So I'll have to say I love you in So you work on that melody, or you tab it out. There's my melody. Now if I just do that, I'm going to see if I can now combine that with my bass part. So remember, the bass is a given. The bass goes on the beats. Well, I know it's kind of late, right? So we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, my melody. So, will I, those are pickups. So our bass note isn't going to start till will I know on this third note. So, will I know. So that's the first time those notes come together. Well, I know. Those two together. It's kind of, and then we want our C sharp, late. So far we have, well, I know it's kind of late. Now, here we go, hope I didn't. Okay, this is a good time to get into phrasing a little bit, because the bass note, like I say, it lands on the beats. It beats 1 and 3 usually, but it can be beats 1, 2, 3, 4, depending when the chords change. Rewind that if you need to hear it again. The melody, though, you want it to be independent from the bass. You don't want it to be going like this. Well, I know it's kind of late. Hope I didn't wake ya. Because he doesn't sing it like that. He doesn't go, well, I know it's kind of late. He goes, well, I know it's kind of late. There's syncopation, which means notes are coming on the and beats. No, it's kind of late. No, it's kind of late. Then here he goes, I hope I didn't, or hope I, that comes on beat 2. The bass note still has to come on 1. So let me just show you from the beginning. Well, I know it's kind of, no, it's kind of late. So I might syncopate that. Well, I know it's kind of late. 3, 4, bass note, hope I didn't wake ya. So the key to this is working out your melody, how you want to play it. Don't let the guitar limit how you play it. Don't let the bass notes lock you into playing the melody a certain way. You want to learn the melody so that it sounds as vocal-like as possible. So again, the difference, here's wrong. Here's the way I would do it. 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, just like I would sing it. You'd understand. So this is the hardest part of all. It's to keep that bass note steady. 3, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and learn your melody, and then try to work those so they go at the same time without losing each. You want independence. Listen to Tommy Emmanuel. He talks about that all the time. You want independence of your thumb and your fingers. But it's really getting that independence in your head too. So it would sound like this. Well, I know it's kind of late. 2, 3, 4, 1. Hope I didn't wake ya. What I. Now that's very dissonant there. If I'm going, what I. But in the song, when it's going by fast, it kind of just passes through and it just works. If you don't like it, then you can work on something else. Maybe not do the walk up. We can always do a picking pattern there. We'll talk about that in a later step. So let's keep going. What I gotta say can't wait. 2, 3, 4. I knew you'd understand. 2, 3, 4. Chorus. Every time I try to tell you Now here I could go, words just came out, but I want a bass note. My bass note was here. So this is where I told you you're going to be, what will determine where you play any given chord or bass note is where the melody is in relation to that bass note. So if I want to play this C sharp here, but I need this note here, it really ends up being a C sharp 7 suspended chord. Just for that note. Words just, you don't really even have to know that. Again, if you're playing the bass note and you play your melody, whether you know it's a C sharp suspended chord or not, C sharp 7 sus, doesn't matter. It's still going to be that, whether you know it's that or not. And then it becomes a regular C sharp 7. Every time I try to tell you, the words just came out wrong. Now I'm on an F sharp. Wrong. Again, I'm just playing melody and bass note. Wrong. To a D. So I'll have, that's an A chord, have to say I love you in a song. 2, 3, 4, A. So I'll do the chorus. So that's what you want to work on, just the bass note and the melody, making sure the melody is phrased the way you would want to phrase it if you were singing it, and that the bass notes do not move. They stay on that beat. They're all going on 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Chorus, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So it's all, every bass note comes on beat 1, first beat of each bar, except for when you're going from the F sharp, da 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 da, wrong. The words just come out wrong. F sharp, that's beat 1, 2, 3, and the D on 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So work on that, and then come back to the next step. Well, if you're still with me, give yourself a big round of applause. Okay, what we're going to do now is really the final step, and that is adding the stuff that goes, what we call fills, in the spaces where there's no singing, or where the note either holds or the singing just stops briefly. Let me show you where that would be. If you were just singing the song, I know it's kind of late, 2, 3, 4. So in there, we need something happening. That's going to be the guitar. So if we have what we have so far, well, I know it's kind of late, 2, 3, 4. It can't just stop, right? No, it's kind of late, 2, 3, 4. Let's see where the next one is. Hope I didn't wake ya. A couple beats there. What I gotta say can't wait, 2, 3, 4. Same thing again. Knew you'd understand, 2, 3, 4. So in all those places where the note just holds and there's a space, we fill it with guitar. And so the next step is coming up with a picking pattern that you will use. There could be multiple patterns, but it's just finding one that you can use as much as possible is best, unless you need something else in certain places. So again, you can look this up in a book on how to finger pick, or on YouTube, how do I finger pick Have to Say I Love You in a Song. Here's some examples. What he's doing in the tune, what Jim Croce is doing, is this kind of pattern. I'll just play like the intro. He's going on an A major 7 chord, strings 5, 3, 2, 5, 3, 2. Let me just play it once so you can hear it. So on the last ones, I'm going on a D minor, this bar D minor, strings 5, 4, 2, 3, 5, 4, 2, 3, to an E7, 5, 4, 2, 3. The rest of the time I'm going 5, 3, 2. So the thumb's going 5 strings, 5, 6, 5, and in between those is strings 3, 2. 5, 3, 2, 6, 3, 2, 5, 5, 3, 2. And then instead of moving down to the 6th string, after that, we go up to the 4th. So it's going 5, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2, 5, 5, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2, 5. So that's a pattern you can use. Well, I know it's kind of late. Knew you'd understand. What I gotta say can't wait. Knew you'd understand. Every time I tried to tell you, the words just came out wrong. Here, I'm changing chords on beats 1 and 3, so I might do something different, like the words just came out wrong. Or just 4 notes for each chord, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and it can be an arpeggio, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and it can be a Travis pick, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, whatever you decide to come up with there. So that's the pattern we're going to insert wherever there's a space. So let's try just the first part. Well, I know it's kind of late. So I need to get on my bass note. No, it's kind of late. There's my pattern. Well, I know it's kind of late. And there's my fill. Let's do that again. Well, I know it's kind of late. Got it? Let's keep going. Bass note. Hope I didn't wake ya. Here, there's not a lot of room. We were doing that walk up. Wake ya. What I gotta say can't. Same thing. Wait. Knew you'd understand. There's the picking pattern again. Knew you'd understand. Then chorus. Every time I tried to tell you, the words just came out wrong. Now I have time here. I have space to fill. Came out wrong. Just that much. Wrong. I would probably go wrong. And then on the D, like 4th string, 2nd string. Because I want this melody note. Strong. So I'll have to say I love you. There's a little fill. Have to say I love you in a song. In a song. And my bass note and a fill. So in a song. That I think I just took right off the recording. D. So I'll do that last part. Have to say I love you in a song. you have it. That's how you piece together a song, which is a solo guitar, chord melody, same thing. So to sum up what we did so far, we figured out the right chords. Whether we looked it up, we figured it out by ear and checked a book or online with a credible source. Made sure the chords were correct. Then we isolated the bass note for those chords. Sometimes it's usually the root of the chord, but sometimes it'll be the third or the fifth of the chord. Then the next part was playing that bass part. You always want to play everything that you figure out and get comfortable with that before you're combining all the elements together, or it can be overwhelming that way. So then we figured out our melody, again, by ear, looked it up, combination of both. Go to YouTube, look at a tutorial, get the tab from a book, and we just find the notes. After we do that, we're comfortable with where the notes are, we figure out the phrasing of it, how we want to play it. I tend to play things, because I hear the vocalist in my head, I tend to play it the way I grew up hearing a song, or how I hear a new song, the way the vocalist sings it, because that's what usually appeals to me. But sometimes I'll adjust it if it makes more sense on the guitar. So that's the phrasing. Well, I know it's kind of late, with syncopation, whatever. You play it how you want to play it, without any chords or any bass notes. Then, once you get comfortable with that, you try to combine it nice and slow. Well, I know it's kind of late. Notice how that comes early. The bass note, the melody hits first. No, it's kind of late. Then the bass note. Now here the bass note hits first. Hope I didn't wake ya. What I gotta say can't wait. So that's the next step there. Bass note and melody together. The last steps are figuring out what the picking pattern is that would go throughout the song, and you would insert wherever you're not playing the bass and the melody. No, it's kind of late. Like that. Or no, it's kind of late. It can be any pattern that works for you. I'll give you, again, a few examples. So, no, it's kind of, when I get to the C sharp minor, I could go just arpeggiate, late. Just, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, or the pattern that he does in the song. Bum, bum, bum. You could do a kind of a Travis pick. So those are all your steps. I hope this was helpful. Please follow so I can keep doing more of these. And contact me at my contact information that's on the screen, or go to my website at gordonlustig.com. And please comment. Let me know what questions you have. What did I leave out? What part of this is difficult for you? Where are you having problems? Just remember that to work on one element at a time, and to be patient. I always think of it like a flip book, like an animated flip book like you used to get at Disneyland, where there's just one picture on each page, and if you turn the pages one at a time, there's no movement. It's only movement when you flip it fast enough. So if you think of each one of these steps as being one page of the flip book, as you start combining them and moving them faster, it will become musical magic. Okay, have fun.